going on, guys? We are still full quarantine right now. The dudes over at CubeSpeed all the way out in Australia hooked us up with one of the most important mods that you guys need for your R32, 33, or 34. Alright guys, so I know there's a million other things that you can do and most important things you can do, but if your car's running good, you're able to drive it, you're able to do a couple other cool things with it. This, I feel like, needs to be spoken upon for the fact that driving this thing and having this sloppy, super sloppy shifter, you know, like here's first, here's second, here's third, fourth, and fifth, and then reverse is all the way back here. So I mean, I don't really like it. The Super doesn't have a short shifter just yet for the V160, but I know for a fact that the RX-7 definitely does, and I love how the RX-7 drives. I love how the RX-7 feels, and you can just bang into gears no problem. With me being where I am positioned, it is a little difficult to first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and then fifth gear. So first gear fully extended. If you could check out my arms fully extended, and this is just when you're driving, this does this thing, and if you're on TikTok, you do this thing. Before you even start your car, you always do this. So I'm gonna install the short shifter from CubeSpeed. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pop this little shifter bezel out. Clarity on here, I don't even think that's supposed to come off that way. Tomei shift knob is off, shifter boot off, and then I believe these are 10s, or yeah, these gotta be 10s. From the trans tunnel, you could obviously tell that the car used to be red, which is kind of amazing. They're gonna take these two bolts out of the radio bezel itself. My father's actually doing that right now. So you take the shifter boot off, you take the shifter housing out, and then there's this little cubby that you put your change in and everything. Pull that out. There's two little Phillips heads that are behind this whole radio bezel itself. It should just pop right out. There should be a couple clips here. This whole piece comes out. Just be careful with everything, with all the wiring and all. It should take the whole rubber boot right out. You could actually just grab these, keep them in safekeeping, put them right here. Oh, and if you guys want, we have these jet tags for sale. Just product placement, kind of is there. Take this whole metal boot out, or rubber boot with the metal housing around it. Come out now. So that metal piece comes out. Just gotta line it up and slide it out. All right, so then this is what you're stuck with. There's another rubber boot. You remove that, spin it out, slide it out, and then you could see these little pins right here, and these C-clips, you gotta actually pop out the C-clips. So let me slide this. That's one. Yep. So you pop the one clip out, one C-clips out, then you can grab it from this little hole right here. You could put a flathead right where that hole is. So you grab this C-clip, pop it right out, and then this whole thing should be able to come right out. There you go. This little plastic grommet comes out. So you're gonna have to bend the shifter tunnel itself a little bit just to kind of get clearance in order to get to your big bolt. So we're just gonna bend this out of the way in order for it to be able to fit a 17mm socket to get that big bolt out, so you could replace it with the Allen key. See, we did the big bolt, now we're doing the smaller bolt. Then you grab this black, like O-ring style, and then you're gonna drop it. Trans tunnel right here. Then you're gonna grab your other plastic piece right here. So then you wanna try and line these pieces up. The white O-ring goes in, you slide the sleeve right in. So then you grab your shifter stock and you drop it right into the hole. You got the shifter stock in. Now you grab this other little plastic. There's a little on the bottom of it, there's a little lip to make it fit perfectly, so you can know exactly what side that you're gonna use. You grab the bottom plate first, and then you add those little grub screws. You screw the little grub screws in. And then we're gonna grab these C-clips right here, these black C-clips. I'm gonna have to try and look in the instructions to see if on the R32, if they're upside down or on top. So for the R32, what you're gonna do is you're gonna have this lip up. So when you do place it onto the shifter itself, onto the shifter plate itself, it's gonna lock onto the sides right here. And that's why we changed out the big bolt in order to make that Allen key fit. So you have to thread lock to make sure that nothing gets loose, especially in your trans. Your trans moves a lot, it gets really hot, so you wanna make sure that you have thread lock, basically so you never have to worry for this plate to ever come off. So then you drop your plate, line it up with those C clips. So, all right guys, so when you put this bottom plate on, obviously you have your grub screws, you have your Allen keys, but if you guys notice, facing the passenger side, there's no two little screws here. So there's two screws here, two screws on your top right, two screws on your top left. These two screws are non-existent. This is the reason for this. It has to be positioned this way, so then you know that the bottom plate is in the right position for your shifter. So always make sure that these two dots here are non-existent, but everywhere else around the shifter it's. So now that we're at this point, when we're mounting the bottom plate, you want to make sure that your grub screws are tight, and you want to make sure that the Allen keys that's connected to your C clamps are tight. Alright guys, so we are almost done with the short shifter install. If you guys wanted to give you a heads up, you'll know you're getting really close to being almost done when you could actually pull the shifter and there's no play, there's no movement. Okay. I'm actually moving the whole trans itself and there's no movement, but other than that, you can shift it and it just feels absolutely insane. I barely have to do anything. This is when you're getting closer to the end. This is the cube top mount piece. So once you put that in, now all you have to do is put your 6 Allen keys all the way around, lock this up, put this rubber boot back on, and then put the locking nut on. If you have any issues for your short shifter itself, you want to make sure the dust boot is on, and there's a little lip that you have to jump it over on the top plate of the cube. So we're not even done yet, and it probably only took us about maybe 15-20 minutes, just tops, just to get everything, and that's just from running and trying to get tools, etc, etc. But it's very simple to install this. I'd rate it out of easy, from easy to hard. It's super easy to install this short shifter. Definitely don't need a lot of mechanic skills. It's very simple. As long as you have the tools and you have patience, you'll be able to make sure this is installed correctly. As of right now, we're going to add the shifter extension. So this is the shifter, then you're going to add the shifter stock for the extension in order to put your shift knob on. Then we're going to have to replace and redo everything. Make sure that the radio bezel's in perfectly, make sure the shifter bezel's in correctly. And yeah, I wish this was a drift car so you could just show off that CubeSpeed logo, because the Cube actually looks really cool, especially with, I believe it's an aluminum plating. It just makes everything look really cool. Shifter insert. You got your locking nut. Now you just gotta line it up. Make sure you don't strip it. And bam.
Just line it up here. Hold it.
Alright guys, so that's the end for the install. And I just wanted to show you real quick what the final piece was. So, first gear. Wow, that's insane. Second, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then reverse. And everything is nice and tight, no slop. Oh man, I can't wait. So let me show you these springs really quick. Get these springs that we actually have to go underneath the car, you have to go underneath the car, put it on jack stands, and then on the side of the trans tunnel, you can replace these springs. So you have heavy, medium, and soft. If you replace this, it's supposed to make shifting a lot easier to the point where it pushes it. Like if you want to go first, second, third, it'll definitely make you go from second to third, and it'll kind of just make everything shift easier and lighter. Since we don't have jack stands and we don't have the jack, we have to dig it out of the garage. What we are going to do is we're going to be basically doing more with this car since we have it, and since we're on quarantine and we're still kind of staying home, it's just in the driveway. We're going to continue to work on the car all week this week. We're supposed to have really good weather. Definitely stay tuned. There's a couple things that we want to do. I definitely want to do a how-to on the harnesses. I definitely want to do and try and figure out what's going on with the exhaust leak that we have, whether it's on the downpipe or the exhaust manifold gasket. Hopefully it's just the downpipe. We have just like a pinhole or something. But other than that, we just need to find that leak, and then we can start cruising the car and figuring out what else we can add. But other than that, shout out to CubeSpeed for hooking us up with, by far, this is a really, really great mod for any R32, R33, and R34 owner. Definitely check them out. Again, can't thank them enough. Super pumped on it. And yeah, just like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you again.